I did not vote, but I felt relief in my body when I heard that Trump won. And I didn't even know that I felt that way until I heard the news that he won the day after. I didn't stay up to watch the election. I don't care that much. But I felt relief in my body. I didn't even know the tension was there until it was gone when he won. And I describe all the reasons why. Because the Biden administration was the first administration that, since I've been alive, that has affected me personally.
Well, that's it. Now, if Biden got elected, how do you think this country would turn out?
I don't know. But what I'm saying right now is my heroes are the cabinet since I've started paying attention to the news. Okay. And I'm not getting down on RFK, and I'm not getting down on Elon Musk. Tulsi Gabbard, totally another ballgame. Fuck you. Fuck you. And Trump, also, big fuck you. I'm sorry, but you are not delivering on what you promised. The relief, I allowed myself during the pandemic to become frightened from propaganda. And I promised myself that would never happen again. And then during this election, I allowed myself once again to feel hope from propaganda. And motherfuckers, that will never happen again. Everything that comes out of your mouth, I don't care who it is, whatever party, if you are vying for power, from now on, I will assume that it is a lie first. And only until you have proven that it is not a lie through action and consequence will I allow myself to feel either fear or hope at your behest. And I hope that myself being honest about my experience with that, perhaps other people will allow themselves to feel honest about their experience with that and allow me to lead by example. Fear and hope, I am in control of, and nobody is ever going to arouse me, either consciously or subconsciously, to that extreme again if they're in a position where they're vying for power.
Politicians are like diapers. They have to be changed once in a while. Oh, how handsome you look.
I do. I really do. It's kind of sinful.
It's a gift.
It's kind of sinful how handsome I look.
Oh,
you look
a sinful creature.
You look quite handsome yourself, my friend.
Nah.
I think you do.
Who the fuck wants an old fucking slut like me?
Well, I do. I find you very handsome. But we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that after the sun goes down. That's an after the day conversation to have. But you brushed your hair. You look very nice. I think you look very presentable. You're not wearing a Jason mask like you were during the protest this week, so that's very good.
Yeah, well.
You are watching the New World Order broadcast, and we are coming to you live from the end of the world, from an undisclosed secret location. I'm your host, the Hat Man. This is your other host, Harry, the Tax Man. And I don't know what the hell we're talking about today. What's going on, man? I am like totally unprepared for this. I'm drinking again today.
No.
I got kind of sick of it, and I fell off the bandwagon a little bit.
We're talking about the destruction of the American history that people don't know. We are not a free country.
Wait, we're not?
Hell no.
And that's what we're talking about? We're
That's
talking
what
about
we're
the
talking about
destruction of
today.
freedom?
Yeah, we're talking about this country and how we've been screwed even during the Revolutionary War. We're going to go into the history, and boy, you people are going to find out you guys have been lied to since 1700. Maybe
Isn't
even
this
before-
kind of the same thing that we talk about every week, though?
No. But
No?
now you got the details in front of you.
Oh, we have the details.
And we're going to go where it really started.
Well, last time we were talking on the podcast, we were talking about this really wonderful essay by somebody named Stephen Ames. And we're going to put a link to this essay in the description, and we're going to certainly we're going to get to that. And it is not my intention to keep everybody waiting for the meat and potatoes of the video. But I don't know if this is going to be something that we discuss in depth. This is probably a popular conspiracy theory already. So I just want to preemptively say, here's what the conspiracy theory is. And hey, man, go ahead and get to that. Just skip about halfway through the video. But I laid this out the way that I want it to be. Here's the conspiracy theory. We didn't win the Revolutionary War.
Absolutely, we lost it.
We lost it.
Yes.
And the United States of America was forced to file bankruptcy, incorporate, and then make all of its citizens chattel to the debt that we owed the Crown King of England.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to get to that. Before we get to that, first thing that I wanted to bring up. We got a comment on our last video, and I know how much you like comments.
Good.
Okay. Now, I read the comment to you, but you had been awake for about 5 fucking minutes when I read it to you. You came stumbling out of your cell in the bunker, kind of like wobbling around, and I was like, Harry, you got a comment. It was like the day after we posted the video.
Good.
Yeah. And it was kind of word salad. And I didn't write down the name of the person that posted the video, the screen name. I wish I had. But basically, we ended our last podcast, and this is your fault. The last thing that you said on our last podcast was, if anybody has any questions that they want me to research, reach out in the comments.
Right.
Right. You kind of set yourself up for a little bit of trolling there, Harry.
Good.
You've been on the internet for long enough. You should know all about this.
Yes.
You know all about this.
I know all about it.
And you are quite the troll yourself.
That's true.
I mean, how do you spend most of your time online? Don't you basically hunt down tax firms?
All tax firms. I don't care if it's Liberty Tax Service or any of those tax services. I hunt them down and I beg them. I beg them and I put out our website to them and I call them a bunch of fucking liars.
Well, you do a lot more than that. I think you mailed a tax attorney a package of white powder. I think it was flour one year, but it was during a time when people might assume it was something
many
else.
years ago.
Was this? But this is something that you allegedly did.
Well, that's
This is not something that you actually
it was
did.
20 years ago when the fight was really nasty. And I suggested other people do it, and I got a comment that said, do you know the FBI is watching this? I said, fine. Beware. We have in a state of war.
So, motherfuckers, you guys control Harry all you want on the comments on the YouTube videos here. This guy is still, like, he's a dinosaur. He's doing, like, real world trolling, okay? He's going to mail you a package full of white powder, and you have to guess whether it's, you know, cocaine, anthrax, or baking flour. You're just welcome to guess. So, you know, that's where this guy's at. So maybe don't troll him. But I thought it was pretty cool because this guy left a comment, And it basically said, hey, great content as usual. That's honestly the way it started out, which I thought was really cool. And, so this is somebody who's obviously subscribed. And then he goes on to say something about a crypto wallet that he has, but, he's talking in word salad. And it was so much fun because I woke up the next day and I was sitting there thinking to myself, oh, this is really cool. We're finally getting trolled. That means that we're starting to make it. People want to interact with us a little bit. So I spent the whole day thinking about how to respond to this comment. He was like, hey, I got this wallet. Here's what I'm thinking about doing to diversify my cryptocurrency. And what do you think about what wallet should I put my assets in order to properly leverage Binance? And I was like, oh my God, the first thing I'm going to fucking do is post this guy's comment on my social media that actually does have a following, which is not for the New World Order, little following. And I'm going to give a prize away to the person that has the best reply to this comment. That's the first thing I was going to do. But after that, I was thinking about it for like the rest of the day. And I was like, okay, so first thing I'm going to say is, hey man, I completely understand the wallet that you're trying to use. I highly recommend Ridge Wallet. And then I was going to do like a fake commercial for Ridge Wallet, which is where you actually physically keep your credit cards and shit. And a lot of podcasts have advertisement for Ridge Wallet. So I was going to fuck with him that way. And then I was going to go into all the different word salad terms that he gave me. And I was going to comment on each one in exactly the wrong way. And then tell him that the proper way to Binance his wallet is to give me all of his money and let me diversify his portfolio. That's probably what my response was going to be. And, but then I was going to let you respond in real time on the podcast too. But what happened was, here's what happened. By the time I got ready to respond to his comment, he had deleted it. So what I think happened is that this dude who actually watches the podcast every week got drunk one night, left a really cool comment. I thought it was fun. And then woke up with a hangover, went into panic mode, which we all do when we're hungover and we wake up the next day. You go into that like little like worry hole where you're like, oh God, who did I fuck with? And you try to digitally track everything that you did the night before and delete it and apologize for what you cannot delete. I'm pretty sure that's what happened with this guy. So by the time I got around to responding, his comment had already been deleted. But I was looking forward to seeing what your interaction with him was going to be. I'm a little disappointed we didn't get to do that.
Well, maybe he did something and he said, oh shit, what did I get myself into now? Because he's probably watched some of our podcasts before and they say, shit, I may look like a fool because the answers that we're going to get may embarrass me.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. When I say the words that he was using for his question were basically word salad,
Yeah.
I think that maybe they meant things that I'm not aware enough or smart enough to know about. So I'm pretty sure his goal was to make you, or perhaps us, look like fools, and fools we are. However, and happy Fool's Day, the month of the Fool. However, I was willing to look it up online so that I could have enough information in my head to give him a fun response. I was willing to do that. So I don't think he was necessarily worried about us making him look like a fool as much as I think he was worried about just like what he did the entire night overall. Because if somebody's leaving us crazy comments at 2:00 in the morning, I doubt our channel is the only page where they made crazy comments.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or maybe he was worried about you making him look like a fool. I mean, that's a possibility.
Well, like I said, I put the challenge out there. You give us a subject, we'll check it out.
Well, his challenge was Binance, with a B as in boy. So what do you think about Binance?
Oh, I think it's a bunch of bullshit because I got the history on finance.
No. Not finances. Binance. B as in boy, not F as in fag, which is a cigarette in England. B as in boy, or bag, or bobble.
Babble?
Yeah. B. Binance. So what do you know about Binance? I don't know anything about Binance.
Biden or the Babylon?
Oh, God damn it. Binance. All right, we'll look it up. Hang on a second. Let's look up Binance, because I don't even know what the fuck this is, but I intuitively feel like it's probably a real word. And I was going to do my research to do a very good response to this comment, because he obviously put a little effort into it. Define Binance. I'm pretty sure it has something to do with
Crypto
coin, and probably a definition along the same lines as synergy. Let's check it out. All right, Binance. Oh, let me do this. That's better. That way we're still on screen. Binance is the world's leading cryptocurrency exchange. Oh, it's an actual cryptocurrency. That's a little less fun. Okay, I thought it was a way to diversify your cryptocurrency wallet. So Binance is the world's leading cryptocurrency exchange. So it's an exchange founded in 2017 by Changpeng Zhao. Okay, that's definitely a fictitious name, and that's not racism.
He was the guy in Japan that cornered the whole fucking market.
I don't know, man. It seems like a fictitious name because the name is Changpeng. And just the fact that the word change is in there and it's a cryptocurrency exchange, it's kind of like having a dentist whose name is Skulnick, or a penis doctor whose last name is Johnson.
Yeah.
Or a vagina doctor whose last name is Leba. It seems fictitious to me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I believe crypto coins is nothing but another scam put upon the American people in general. Crypto coins to me is nothing but bullshit. Like legalese is bullshit.
Well, how is cryptocurrency anything different than fiat? How is it anything different than fiat currency?
Well, it can't be that much different because it gives you artificial value.
So they're both bullshit.
They're all bullshit.
Exactly.
Like the dog coin they put out there.
The Doge coin,
the price of gold, the price of silver. Someone who controls the purse controls the finances.
So, dude, did you know that the reason why the Department of Government Efficiency is named that, the reason why it's named Doge, it's actually a joke. Elon Musk is making a joke. He was kind of trolling the public because there's a really shitty meme coin that's named the Doge coin.
Yeah.
That's why he named it Doge.
I don't put my faith in none of that.
So, it was founded in 2017 by the obviously not racist, that I think it's a fictitious name, Changpeng Zhao, offering a platform to buy, sell, and trade various cryptocurrencies, along with a range of financial services and products within the blockchain ecosystem. So we were really looking forward to doing that, dude. Listen, man, the next time you get drunk at 2:00 in the morning and you leave us like a comment that you're not sure that you're proud of the next day when you wake up with your hangover, just leave it. We're cool. Yeah, we're like, maybe we're gonna roast you a little bit, but that was actually a pretty good comment, dude. We would have loved to talk about it. Like, you obviously put a little work into the way it was worded. That was like intricate bullshit. It was bullshit, but it was intricate. I would have had a lot of fun with that. If anybody ever leaves us comments at 2:00 in the morning while they're drunk, when you wake up the next morning with a fucking hangover, leave the comment alone. This is the space where we are okay hearing your drunken nonsense. I'm drunk right now. I'm going to get drunker as this podcast wears on. I'm going to see if I can get this guy drunk before the end of the podcast.
I still got absinthe left.
He still has absinthe left. We're going to do our best. We might take a quick break so that this guy can go get some absinthe. What I'm saying is leave it there. Dude, nobody's going to roast you too bad. It's totally cool. We're just going to have fun with it. So for anybody out there, you leave us a drunken comment, fucking leave it there. Because
we need Alan Spear that lives in Shahola come on our show and explain crypto coins to us.
Well, I'm going to do a bunch of fudge-filled tokens with my artwork because now I'm promoting my artwork. So there's something called a fudge-filled token, and I think the Keebler elves have something to do with it, and it's a way that you can sell digital copies of your artwork for way more money than the originals are sold for. It's a non-fudgeable art or a non-fudgeable token, like if you pass a bridge, something like that. I don't know. But basically what you do is you have to have this cryptocurrency called Ether. So you like the drug that used to knock you out for surgery back in the day. So you have to own some Ether. And then what you do is you buy Ether on the black market and you get really high, and then you can upload your artwork to this magical website that convinces people to spend 6 figures on your artwork rather than 5 figures, but you can still keep selling your artwork to other people. And a lot of people talk about this in the same conversation that they're having with crypto coin. So I want to try that. I mean, why not?
Sounds like you're a collection agency.
It does sound a little bit like buying debt. Yeah, it's a weird thing. Like, I put all this work into something, so now there's a debt value or a debt ratio applied to it, and I'm selling it to somebody else. And hey, you see if you can make more. Fuck you. It really does seem like that's the way it works. I think that's a pretty astute comment you just made. Yeah, non-fungible tokens. I'm pretty sure Harry hit the nail on the head. Yeah, it's pretty much like debt trading. Ooh, I need another beer. But speaking of artwork, so I did actually start promoting my art, which you've been on my ass to do. Thank you very much, Harry, for being on my ass to do that. I appreciate it. And I do have my first sale for my artwork. Yay! Thank you. Thank you very much. That I posted on our social media. So go visit our Facebook page, our Instagram page. Everything's in the links in the description for this video. But I'll show you guys the commercial that Harry and I did real quick for our sale for the upcoming satanic, evil, demonic holiday. So let's bring that up right now. And you guys can watch that real quick. Give me your feedback on it. I think we did a good job on the commercial, but hey, man, if you want to take advantage of it, get in touch with me. Here is, let me get my earpiece in. We're going to show video. If you want to put your headphones on, Harry. Here's the commercial that Harry and I did for the New World Order's art sale. Hey guys, wanted to drop you a new post here. Today is Saturday, and I did promise you a very special announcement. So the holiday that this announcement will hopefully help you with is the most insidiously evil, satanic, and stress-filled holidays on the calendar. Harry, that holiday is Mother's Day. Did you know that that was one of the most evil holidays ever created by man?
I don't know about that, but it can be.
Well, other than Valentine's Day, there's really no holiday that you don't have to spend a lot of money in order to prove that you care about somebody who you should care about.
Well, like I said, some people have guilty trips about that.
Absolutely. And we're going to profit off it, but we're also going to help you. The only other holiday is Christmas, but I mean, you could just say that you're Jewish, and that's why I didn't buy you anything.
That's true.
Yeah, I converted to Judaism, so, fuck you. I'm going to eat really salty food, and you're not going to get a present.
But we own the business that you buy from us.
That's right. So here's what we're going to do for Mother's Day. Are you ready? Here's the announcement. So what we're going to do, starting today and running as long as I have open spots or until time starts to run out, is I am going to discount my normal portrait price by 90%, which means you can get a hand-painted portrait in oil or whatever else you want painted from me, shipped to you by Mother's Day for $500. You know what, Harry? Rather than do $500, let's give him a discount. We'll make it an odd number. Sounds like good marketing. What do you think?
You sound like Ron Popeil with the selling his product.
Okay.
You got to tell me who that is.
Then he must be a genius.
It works.
Yeah. So instead of 500, that's a round number. I don't like round numbers. Let's do $449. How's that sound?
That's a good number.
Okay. So normally when I was doing this, the last time I had my portrait photography business, and towards the tail end of that, I started selling portraits in oil as well as the photographs. And that started to go quite well. It is a lot of work, so my portraits would start at around $5,000. I have 5 spots
far the mighty
where
have
I
fallen.
am 100% convinced I can definitely finish these by Mother's Day and ship it out to you as long as I get the orders soon. So I'm probably only going to have this up and running for maybe 2 or 3 weeks. We'll have to see how it goes, but as soon as I get 5 orders, we're probably going to cut it off. Each portrait takes me about 40 hours to do. Harry, you've seen me work on them. It's a lot of work.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I want to make sure that I'm mailing you something that I can be proud of and you're happy to give to your mom for Mother's Day. And you feel secure with it, so I want to make sure I have enough time to do these. So let me show you guys the portrait
I'm being
that
so
I've been painting
sincere
of
there.
Harry,
That was nice.
which is not done yet. I've been doing other things lately, but it's nearing completion.
Dude, your portrait's
And,
turning out really
This is
good.
the portrait that I'm painting of Harry. This is from
I'm amazing.
a reference
I am so
photograph
talented.
that I
The machine
took.
gun's not for
And
sale.
this is not painted over a photograph. This is an actual oil painting, straight up.
Good-
so that's
good
what
point.
I will be producing for everybody who signs up for
We're
this
gonna need
for
that.
$449 rather than
only paid
$5,000. I think that's a pretty good deal. What do you think, Harry?
$1,000 now.
So rather than risking
We're
your
gonna need
mom
We're gonna need it.
knowing that you do not love her, you can prove that you do by giving her something very unique that you don't have to put all this effort into. I'm doing that. So you give me money and I'll make something unique and I'll put in the effort. So this way, and here's another good thing, Harry. I mean, let's say, new grandchild. You know what I mean?
What's that?
Well, new grandchild. You just had a kid, so
okay.
mom has a new grandchild, right? I'll do a portrait of the new grandchild in oil.
They have to send you a picture.
They do have to send me a picture. So you're probably waiting there with bated breath saying, Hatman, how do I sign up for this amazing deal? Well, here's how you do it. You DM me. Don't put your information up on comments or anything. DM me on Facebook or Instagram. If you're watching this on YouTube, go to my Facebook profile in the description and DM me. So DM me. Send me a photo. We'll talk about it. As long as everything works, we can do Cash App, or I'll set up a link on my website. Really doesn't matter. Whatever.
How does that stand with stepmothers?
What do you mean with stepmothers?
Let's say your father marries a much younger woman and sends a model that he married that's like 20 years younger than him. Well, she's still a mother. She's a stepmother.
Well, maybe you'd want a nude portrait of your young bride for yourself. That's perfectly fine with me.
Hey, do it.
Listen, man, it doesn't have to be for Mother's Day. You're all getting your tax returns back right now. because you still pay taxes, which
I
Harry
love
doesn't
you
think
shaking
you
your
should
head
be.
right here.
So
This is the best.
you're getting your check from the IRS. Spend some money. Get something unique. So I'll show you guys the actual size here. So Harry's portrait is a 16 by 20. Here's the actual size for the 449. We can upgrade it if you want. We'll talk. This is an 11 by 14. So this is a perfect size to frame and put on the wall. It's not too big. It's not too small. And this is a really good size for a very simple portrait. Head and shoulders, bust. So we'll do that for you. As long as you can get me a good photo and email it to me so that I can work off it. I got a whole bunch of these things laying around. We'll get it done for you. And this is actually really cool too. So if you look at what we're painting on here, it's not a stretch canvas. This is a panel. What is it called again? What's this panel called?
That's important.
That's right.
You can buy a frame for this anywhere, and I forgot to mention that. You don't
has a
have
nice
to get
gesso coating on it. It's 100% acid-free, archival. This will last longer than any of you guys will be alive, and you'll have this as an important keepsake. And, let's make the goal this year to make your mom cry when you give her Mother's Day present. I think that's a pretty good goal. What do you think, Harry?
Yeah, it's a good goal. It's like when you go up to the service and you're 20 years old, you're going to boot camp. Mothers cry.
Right, because they love you. And then if you do something like this for them, you're showing them that you love them back. It doesn't matter if it's true. You don't have to tell them it was only $449. As far as they know, you spent thousands. I'll put a price tag on it that says like $5,000. That's cool. You can forget to take
That's
the
probably
tag
the
off.
best thing
It's
that I
all
said
good.
from a marketing
And here's another thing,
perspective right
Aaron. Here's another important point. The cool thing is, if you have me paint something that you would like hanging in your own house,
Aside from this.
someday mom's gonna pass away. Let's be honest.
Of course.
And then who gets the painting? It comes right back to you. So you're not losing anything. That's it.
Here's another thing. When Father's Day comes along, I want my son to have my portrait hanging in his house.
Absolutely.
So I haunt his house.
Well, I'm going to see if I can make your portrait look like the eyes are moving and following him around while he's walking through his house. Maybe we can do that. I'll research the technology.
I'm still working on that.
Yeah, that might be a nice added feature. Anyway, guys, I got 5 spots for this. Hit me up in the DMs. We'll talk about it. You can send me some pics. I'll tell you which one is probably your best bet. And let this remove some of the burden of the Mother's Day gift getting this year. Just rely on me for it. Have a good day.
So, Harry, I need to thank you. You were kind of the inspiration for me doing this. I mean, you saw the painting that I was making of you, and you told me, hey, man, you need to get yourself out there and start doing this. So I started to, I'm taking an online marketing course, which for anybody that's following me, that's a death knell in wanting to follow me anymore. To hear that the person that you're following is taking an online marketing course. Yeah, unfortunately I am. And I was sitting here in the podcast studio that we set up, so my video looks halfway decent, rather than me just laying in bed with a hangover with the camera pointed over my face going like, hey everybody, sorry I look like a piece of shit, but here's what I want to say. So I decided to actually shave, brush my teeth, and come out here in the podcast studio and fucking make a video. And then you hung your head around the curtain and you were like, hey man, what are you doing? And I was like, well, you're about to find out. Come over and sit down. And I'm really happy that you were here to record that with me, because I think you brought a lot to the table, especially with the stepmoms, with the young brides.
Yes. Oh, well. We gotta have a young bride about 20 years younger than us.
Who wouldn't want to have a nice, beautiful portrait of their young bride painted for them during tax season for a 90% discount? I think that's really great.
Yep.
Yeah.
If it looks good, paint it.
So everybody that I talk to about this video that I know personally, they say, I was so surprised when you said the holiday was Mother's Day because I set it up as the most demonic, insidious, monstrous, satanic holiday of all time. And everybody was like, I thought you were going to say Easter.
Whoa, it's coming up.
Well, that's coming up too. And Harry and I have a lot to say about Easter. But here's the thing about Mother's Day is, and I think I worded it wrong in the recording, but there's really only 2 holidays out of the year where you have to spend X amount of dollars in order to prove to an important woman in your life that you care about her. And the number 1 is Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And then number 2 is Mother's Day. Now, Father's Day, you can spend $40 on a necktie and it's fine. But Mother's Day, try getting away with that shit. Valentine's Day?
That don't work.
No. I mean, what are you going to do Mother's Day? What can you do for Mother's Day that will work that's $40?
Take her out to dinner to a nice restaurant. Give her a diamond necklace.
Dude, I said $40.
Well, let's say that women like shiny things.
If you can get away with Father's Day with a $40 necktie from, what's that fucking designer's name? Not Saks Fifth Ave, because that's a little more expensive, but begins with an A. Do you remember the name of the designer that begins with an A?
No, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't wear
I didn't
ties.
think you would. I'm not surprised somehow. God damn it. But anyway, you can get a $40 necktie, a designer that begins with an A. We all know who I mean, and I can't remember the word. And Dad'll be like, oh, they paid attention to me. Oh my God, thank you so much. Somebody remembered me. Now you try getting your mom a $40 bouquet of, I don't know, poison ivy. What?
White roses?
Yeah, white roses. Something. And you see, she's going to be like, yeah, thanks. Or for Valentine's Day, you try getting your girlfriend or wife a $40 edible underwear from Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
Okay? She's going to cut your dick off in the middle of the night. That's just the way it's going to be. So these are the 2 holidays aside from Christmas, and I already told you in the video how to get out of that. These are the only 2 holidays that you have to spend X amount of dollars to prove that you love a person. Valentine's Day and Mother's Day, that's it. So Easter, we got a whole bunch of shit to say about Easter. We got a whole lot that we're going to get to about that. But as far as the demonic aspect
We
of
got one more holiday.
Yeah, what's that?
In April.
Tax season?
April 15th.
Oh, you're talking about Lincoln's assassination day.
Yes.
And there's no other day that lines up with that. Yeah. But aside from that, spending money to prove that you love somebody, those are the only 2. So we have this special going on right now. And Harry, I did want to thank you for motivating me to do that.
I had to bring you out of your depression.
You had to bring me out of my shell.
Call me Dr. Klein.
Dr. Klein. Well, Dr. Klein, I have an announcement to make to you and everybody that is watching this right now. We made our first sale for the New World Order Mother's Day special. So I sold our first discounted portrait for the New World Order. It is not a portrait. They're having me do something different. I don't want to say what it is, and I can't say who I'm making it for because, of course, it is a surprise. But I want to thank them very much. They know who they are. So we did get our first one. We have 4 spots left before the deadline, which I have yet to announce. So thank you very much. We got our first sale for our Mother's Day special. And so thank you very much, Harry, for recommending that I do that. And while we're on the subject, I think that we did a good job with the commercial. What do you think?
I think a terrific job.
Yeah. And I think that it turned out better that you were here.
Hopefully we get it more.
Yeah. You know, we'll talk about it. You can send me. I'd like to. So, while I have everybody on the subject, here's how you sign up for the New World Order. There is a link on our Facebook. There is a link on our Instagram. Go to the website, NWONOW.com, New World Order Now art.com. And after the first couple seconds you're there, you're going to get this little window here that pops up in the bottom right-hand corner. Enter your email address, and you are officially joining the New World Order. And we're going to do some A/B testing with the New World Religion. We're creating a New World Religion that we need to realize before we can implement Project Bluebeam in order to subjugate the entire world under a one-world government. And on top of being part of the New World Order and part of my personal think tank for that project, you will also get 20% of your first order for the store. So that's pretty cool.
You're a generous guy.
I am a pretty generous guy.
Maybe you're going to be a new Santa Claus.
Or a new Satan Claus. Now, speaking of Satan Claus, here's the next thing that I wanted to get into. So let me open my next window here. Now.
Oh.
Aha. Aha!
Aha!
You see what I'm opened up.
To the people of Milford, I've been at your rally.
Now!
And you know what? You had 200 to 300 dummies across the street. These democratic, idiotic morons.
No, Harry. Nobody knows what this is, so let's start at the beginning.
Right.
What did you do yesterday?
Well, Saturday they had a rally in Milford.
I'm
by
sorry,
the
Saturday.
courthouse,
Yeah.
And they were protesting against Trump and Musk and the DOS and all that, and they have no idea. Hey, wait a minute. Is that Michael Myers there, I see?
He's not on the screen right now. Tell us a little bit more about it, and then I'll put the photo up.
I dressed up like Michael Myers, but I had to hide my face.
All right. Let's put the images up.
Yeah.
So this is what I posted on our Facebook page the other day. So this is Harry going out to inflict Harry's war on the general population. I did not help him with this costume. So this is Harry. And he is, for anybody who's just listening, he's wearing a black sweater with a what's that reflective vest called?
Safety vest from the New York City Transit.
There you go. Safety vest from the New York City Transit. And he's got a handmade blowhorn. And the vest and the horn are adorned with two very specific symbols. And the first is Harry's personal symbol that I helped put in the digital format for him. He handmade it originally. It's an upside-down American flag adorned with a black swastika and the words IRS over the swastika. I'm pretty sure you can see what he's getting at there. And then we have the New World Order symbol below it. So that's on the vest, and it's on the blowhorn. So how'd you find out about this? What'd you go do?
It was over the internet.
And what were you guys protesting?
The Democrats protested against Trump and Musk and all that, and the Republican club said they want a counter protest. There was only 20 of us that showed up. We were outnumbered about 2 to 100. There was about 200 to 300 people, most of them from out of state.
Okay.
I think George Soros paid for it.
Now, that's interesting because when you came back, you did tell me that you felt like So this was basically a counter-protest that you went out on.
Right, a little counter-protest.
Okay. So people on the Democratic Party were gathering to protest Doge and most likely the tariffs.
Right.
And then you're a member of a Facebook group called the Pike County Republican Party or something like that. Okay.
And that there was only 20 of us, but they had the courthouse lawn was full of people. A lot of them came from Connecticut, New York, and New Jersey. I think they were hired by Soros to come out, and they weren't even locals. So we told them, go home.
Okay. So let me ask you a question. What made you decide to go out and protest their protest?
The war is still on, people. I have not stopped the war. So therefore, who's the enemy? The enemy is the IRS, and these people are so dumb they don't even know who the enemy is. They can't identify him. They are brain dead. Who the hell is stealing your money for the last 110 years with the 1913 income tax laws that's illegal? Wake up, people. That's all I could tell you.
But what were they protesting? So if somebody's protesting something, it means they disagree with the thing, right? So they were protesting probably the Liberation Day, which is the tariffs, the unilateral tariffs, and Doge.
And the cuts that are taking place on stupid things like $1.5 million to provide condoms for people in Africa because they got AIDS. That ain't our problem. If they want to get AIDS, go ahead, do it.
Well, I hate to tell you, but a lot of people in this country also have AIDS.
Yes, but then again, why don't we take care of them?
Well, nobody's taking care of me, and I have AIDS, but I hate to tell you, since last night, you do too.
No, I don't have AIDS.
You weren't awake for the whole thing.
No, I don't have AIDS. I have something else. I got my own disease. That's why I take my cancer medicine.
Okay. Well, all right. Let's stay on a light note here.
Yeah.
So you went over to protest,
counter-protest.
To counter-protest their protest of Doge and the tariffs. How do you feel about the tariffs so far? Because I'm not 100% convinced this is going to work out.
Trump just made a deal with Argentina. They're going to charge us zero tariffs, and we're going to charge them zero tariff. That's a win. So therefore, neither one of them are going to have the tariffs. That's an even trade. It's not like China. They charge us 67% tariffs, and we only charge them 10%. And screw Canada. We don't care about your Canada because you're a communist state anyway. And like I said, tariffs work because tariffs were before 1913, and they kept this country going. Then they put the illegal income tax law in, which has been illegal for 110 years, and they've been stealing your money. Oh, God bless you if you're dumb and you're going to steal money out of my pocket. You're not going to steal money out of my pocket. I'll cut your hands off. Maybe I'm an Arab.
Oh.
They cut the hands off in Arabia if you're a thief.
Oh, my goodness. All right. So
I better sharpen my sword.
So you hate thieves?
Oh, definitely. I don't care if they call them politicians or businesses or corporations or the church, whatever.
So you are a member of the Pike County Republican Party. They invited you to join, so now you're a member.
I'm a member of a few of them.
Okay. So here's what I have to say about thieves. And I just came off of a week-long working with the demon of the Ars Goetia, Andromalius. So here's what I have to say about thieves. As long as you're not interfering with my business, you do what you gotta do, and as long as your business doesn't interfere with my business, as long as your business doesn't interfere with my business,
I'll make you an offer you can't refuse.
What? No man has the right to tell him how he makes a living. But they're stealing from your pocket. That's the fucking point.
Right.
Yeah, that's a different story. Okay, so I, I am not a member of any political party. I probably should be. However, I don't care enough. But I did go on a couple of people's Facebook one night while I was drunk this week, whom I admire. This guy does strongman. He has like a carnival sideshow sort of thing, like with the aesthetic of the Dust Belt from the 1920s, and he does like sideshow shit. He's got like a person that nails the nail into their nose, and
Yeah.
his wife, now wife, does fire breathing from what I hear. I think I've seen a few of those videos. And I wanted to have them on, and here was my really drunken way to try to get them on. I was like, I saw a couple posts on Facebook where they were bitching about Trump's Liberation Day with the tariffs. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The Liberation Day. And it was like, hey, thanks for all the happy birthday wishes, but I can't celebrate my birthday because I'm so bummed out about Trump's tariffs. And I was like, oh my God. Can we please live our lives without using every single fucking thing as a political football? And then I did a little more research. So I made a comment, and the comment was very simple. It was like, yeah, but happy birthday, yay. And I was like kind of making fun of her. And then I got a little more drunk as I was doing a little more research. And I realized they own a business where like everything they sell is an import. And I'm pretty sure that what their business is they sell rocks. I'm pretty sure it's a crystal shop.
Oh, that falls right in my line, too.
I know, you do shungite.
Right.
So, I'm not putting this down. You and I went to go visit a very popular crystal shop.
Oh, yeah, in
last year.
Goshen, New York.
Where was it?
Goshen, New York, near Ellenville.
Okay. Do you remember the name of it?
No, but it's a former church they turned into a crystal shop. And you sat in the crystal chair they had there.
Yeah, dude. They had a crystal that was big enough for me to sit inside of, like a throne. It's pretty badass. And like, dude, if you make yourself sensitive before you go sit in it, you can feel something. You can feel a vibe. Like you sat in it. Did you feel a vibe?
I always I'm acceptable to vibration and frequency. Even the smart meter gets to me 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah. So, I mean, when I make fun of them a little bit and I say, yeah, but you sell rocks. Okay, so basically, I think what I was trying to say, I was a little drunk, but I read back through my comments that I made that night. I still agree with most of them. You sell rocks. If you're selling rocks that have to be shipped from overseas, you're already susceptible to tariffs.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. As a business strategy, my first question would be, if I had them on the podcast, which I don't know if they're going to do, is, hey, listen, how profitable was this before the tariffs? Second of all, they're all doom and gloom in like every single post, and they're using the fact that this may destroy their business as like a total political football to just dunk on the Republican Party, which, hey, go for it. They deserve it just as much as the Democrats. But I just hate to see this polarization with everything. Like, thanks for the birthday wishes, but I can't celebrate because my business might get destroyed by what is happening in the political theater. It's like, I'm so sick of seeing shit like that. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Maybe it will get better because the other country will drop their tariffs and make an even trade with us, and maybe you'll do better business. You don't know. It's a crapshoot.
Which actually did end up happening with one major... Argentina, was that it? Okay. But, that night, I was just like, it's not that it was cringe. Like, I like putting out things that are totally cringe. And I like watching things that are totally cringe. It's just like, please, can we not? It's like Marlon Brando having that Native American chick go up to get his award.
And sending that Indian woman and to get the Oscars instead of
Yeah, it's like, can we take time out to celebrate our victories? What a birthday is you survived another year. Which, hey, maybe nowadays it's a lot easier than it was 200 years ago, but it's still something worth celebrating. Do we have to turn everything into a fucking political football? So that's where, like, I just got off. And then I'm looking at the rest of their posts, and everything's just seemed short-sighted, just, it's affecting me personally, so it's gotta be bad. And I didn't do enough research to know if all they do is sell rocks, but I'm assuming that's what it is. And my point was, hey, man, maybe make those rocks unique in a certain way. You're both artists. Or maybe figure out, because you're both artists, also maybe figure out a way to build perceived value so that the price difference doesn't match. And also, the price difference, the tariffs are going to be unilateral. So all of your competitors are getting the same increase at the same time. It's not like just your store has been raised by 30%. It's everybody else you're competing with. So I just kind of felt fed up. And for somebody like myself, who I am neither right nor left, it's just the first time that the political sphere on a global level actually impacted me was the pandemic. I literally wasn't allowed to work because I did not believe in the vaccine. And I wasn't allowed to work for a very long time. And since I am, generally speaking, never W-2, I didn't have a whole lot of unemployment to back me up, and I didn't have a whole lot of the COVID thing, which rolled into unemployment, to back me up, because I'm, generally speaking, 1099. I've always owned my own business or worked as a private contractor for other companies. So, I mean, I didn't do enough research. Mar Omega and April Lilitow, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, I didn't do enough research to go back to 2020 and see how you guys were reacting to the lockdowns. But I'm guessing that what you were saying was you guys need to have a stiff upper lip because this is good for everybody and just stop spreading disease. That's what I'm guessing you were saying during 2020. If I'm wrong, make a fucking comment, but I'm guessing I'm probably fucking right. And that type of polarization is what I was going after in my comments. I'd still love to have either of you guys on. I love and respect your art. Not you. I don't know you. But I love and respect your art, and I would love to hear your side of the story. Love to have a conversation about it. What do you think about that?
I think that's a good idea. And then we could discuss the value of shungite and orgonite generators, because if they're into the gems like I am, they know about that.
Yeah.
Because you know about orgonite. You know about the doctor from 1935.
Well, you're talking about Wilhelm Reich.
Right.
Yeah.
So therefore he dealt with the frequencies, he dealt with the
well, Wilhelm Reich is the originator of the Orgone cabinet, Orgone Energy.
Right.
He was, I think, one of the first people in the United States ever to have his books banned and burned. If they found a copy of his book in your personal library, they would confiscate it and burn it out in public. So you want to talk about Nazis? There you go.
Yeah, there it was.
Yeah, there it
is.
is.
The government didn't want you to know about that.
Yeah, so now you can get all of his books that you want. But yeah, if they're crystal lovers, I hope that they know about Wilhelm Reich.
Yeah, well, they got that. That's for the foundation. And like I said, the government wants control. The American Medical Association wants control. Dr. Pfizer, should have been locked up for committing murder, like Governor Cuomo when he put the the COVID people with the older people in the nursing homes to kill them off.
Yeah, we talked about that on the last podcast.
Yeah.
That's pretty badass.
Oh, what are you doing by putting my son's toy on the screen there?
What? Oh, we were still talking about the other people. I'm getting prepped, dude.
Okay.
All right, well, I guess we'll just move on. Dude, if I put something on the screen, I'm just getting ready. You don't have to bring it up right away. You can finish your thought.
No, I'm done.
All right, well, here's what I wanted to bring up. So we received a package this week, and I got to meet your son for the second time ever since I've been in the compound, and the first time ever sober. Jonathan Klein. Pleasure to meet you. And this is what Jonathan Klein bought. So tell me a little bit about this.
He's building a. As a part-time PA resident, he is legal to own this. The house is in his name, the builder in his name, so therefore he.
Well, wait a second. Doesn't he live in Long Island?
He lives in New York. So
how is that legal for him to own?
Because he's a part-time resident in Pennsylvania.
I mean, dude, that's an AR-56, right?
AR-56 by Ruger.
Yeah.
And it ain't no different from a Mini 14. Same caliber, same everything. It just looks bad.
So we didn't get the gun delivered to the compound.
It's not together, so therefore it's not a firearm. It's just parts.
Yes. Go on.
It's like me going back to my book, The Poor Man's Armor, and building a pipe bomb.
Or
the Anarchist Cookbook from 1969.
Yeah, do we need to go back to that point where the story about how I was shit-faced here in the compound, and then
come on.
You revealed that you had sticks of dynamite underneath
they were flares.
Metal. Bullshit, they were flares, motherfucker.
Okay.
Bullshit.
Maybe I should bring 3 plastic bricks out called C4.
So what are you and your son doing with this fucking gun?
Well, no, we're getting ready for the upset in this country.
Yeah.
The reset.
The reset.
We are going to reset.
So a lot of Democrats talk about this as a Republican conspiracy theory. Why don't, and I have, like I said, I really have no political affiliations. I liked what Doge was doing up till a certain point. We're about to get into that. Tell me about this theory of the Great Reset, which I have never had enough interest in order to fucking look up. What is it?
The reset is the divide between those that want to control the masses or those that know what freedom is and want to keep the freedom.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to apply what laws were put before us that made us our freedom compared to the ones that wanted to enslave us.
But wasn't the Great Reset originally a mandate from Davos during the pandemic, where they said, before the pandemic even became a thing, they said the world needs a Great Reset,
yes, that is true,
in order to change the civilization from an investor economy to a stakeholder economy. Wasn't that where the term came from, the Great Reset?
That was 2017, and they used COVID as a weapon against the people to control their behavior. It's called modified social behavior.
Right.
Going back to Ultra in 53.
MK Ultra.
Right. In 53, they want to control our behavior and our thinking and the way we think about things. But we have enough veterans that are still alive that remember what they fought for. And you're not going to take their rights away.
Okay, so tell me what Republicans think the Great Reset is. And what are you guys doing with this fucking gun?
that the Republicans are fighting it, and we have a right to own guns in Pennsylvania. We have a right to open carry.
But your son's in Long Island.
But this is his house, and as long as it's in this house, it's perfectly legal for him.
Is it?
Well, he got the carry permit for Pennsylvania too.
Okay.
So therefore, I got my 3 carry permits, and I got my license for a machine gun.
So he got this gun. Tell me that the gun wasn't shipped here. Tell me how he got the gun.
Parts were shipped here.
Oh, he got it in parts.
Parts. It's parts.
Okay.
Not the gun. Once it's put together, as long as it stays here in Pennsylvania, it's fine. Don't get caught in New Jersey or Connecticut or New York with that. Because you end up with many decades in jail.
All right, so we're going to beep out his name. So what got delivered here was what I saw you unpack. What did he get along with this monstrosity that got delivered here to the compound?
He got all the parts to put it together.
No, not all the parts to put it together.
You talk about the upper and
he got a case.
Right. He got a nice drag case. He got 7 magazines. He got the upper and lower magazine.
How many magazines?
7. Come on, that ain't nothing. How many magazines I got? I got at least 40 magazines.
Dude, when I got my 9mm handgun after the George Floyd riots, and yes, they were not peaceful protests, they were riots.
Right,
I was there. I went to the guy, and he was explaining ammunition to me. It had been a long time since I owned a gun, and I bought the gun, $500, and I was like, all right, I need some ammunition, and I've heard from my research that I need different ammunition to practice for targets, but I want it to be have the same black grain in it so that I get used to the kickback. And he gave me a box. I was like, sweet. And then I was like, what would be good for intruder stuff? And he gets me a box of the same grain hollow shell.
Right, called Talon shots.
Okay. And then I was like, cool, let me get 2 boxes of that. And the guy looks at me and he goes, yeah, 1's enough. So my question is, what the fuck does your son need 7 goddamn clips for? Is he going to war?
He's been to war.
Okay. Is he still there?
He's getting there.
Jesus Christ.
Because he's got something to protect.
Okay. Now, I'm not going to ask what he has to protect because that's subjective. Who is he defending? Let's say the thing that he has to protect is this statue. Right. Let's say this statue is worth $1 billion.
Right.
I love this statue, but it's not. Let's say it is. And it's in his home.
It's an object.
It's in his home. And it's worth $1 billion. And also he fucks it. And he's married to it. No, he's in love with it, and it gave birth to his children. Okay, so no, I'm just putting all the love on the line.
He's got something.
All the love on the line.
He's got this. He's got something that he's paying 30 years for, and the banks rape him, and with the $380,000 of the cost, it's called a mortgage, and he's not going to allow the Black Lives Matter come into his neighborhood and invade his house like they've been doing in Colorado. The gangsters, or the so-called gangsters, that have been invading people's houses, and those people that believe that they can't defend themselves. All right, surprise, surprise, I'm going to drop you in my lawn, and you're not going to do that. I'm going to protect my property. You have a right to do that.
Well, dude, shit's got to be getting pretty wild in Long Island for your son to get 7 clips and how many rounds of ammunition?
No, I got more ammo than he does.
I know. How much did he buy?
No, I have about...
How much did he buy?
I got
How much did he buy? I
No,
didn't ask you how much you
I
had.
bought $15,000 worth of ammo.
How much did he buy?
He only bought 5.
Okay, how many rounds?
I don't know, about maybe 500 rounds.
Okay, 500 rounds and 7 clips for this motherfucker
Right.
back here. How many people does he think he's going to have to fight off in one shot coming to steal his house?
The first 2 that drop, everyone's going to change their attitude.
No shit. Don't you need like 1 clip for that?
Yeah, just like what I sent out today down to a friend of mine. He for years he would not have a gun in his house.
I know, dude. And all of a sudden, like, you got him on the bandwagon. It's really fun to see. It's funny.
Because he's also concerned about what's going to go on.
So so my question is, what the fuck are you guys seeing that I'm not? Like, I'm content with a 9mm and
Right.
1 sleeve, 14 rounds.
Right.
I have 1 clip. What are you guys seeing? And what is the great white huntress seeing? Where the world's about to fucking end and I'm going to have to stave off an army of people coming to take all the things that I don't own because I can't afford them already.
Right.
What are you guys seeing that I'm not seeing?
Well, you don't have your artwork is valuable to you, right?
But what I'm saying is, who's coming for it? What are you guys predicting that I'm not predicting?
Those that believe they have the right to steal your stuff. Those people that are squatters that's going to move into your house and take your house because they think they have a right.
Now, this was my experience during the George Floyd riots.
Okay.
Riots, not peaceful protests, fucking riots. I was living in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I've told this story before, but I was in a fairly quiet block, and yes, white supremacists in a black neighborhood. Ooh. And I was living quite comfortably. Most of the people on my block owned their home, very few renters. I was one of the only renters, and I was also one of the only white people. Because renting is smart. No, just kidding. So I was basically ducking myself during the pandemic, had very little knowledge about what was going on in the world, did not watch the news. I was working for a local photography company at the time, and, they put us off of work because of the pandemic. I didn't know the riots had started. And then they were like, hey, come in and drop off your photography equipment because we're not going to be working for a while. I was like, yeah. So I come in. My buddy Daryl's there, a black guy. And he's like, hey, man, how you been doing? I'm like, well, sucks wearing a mask everywhere, but I'm starting to get used to it. Basically, most of the stores require it now. And, I think I'm not drunk every day anymore. I can remember last week now, so that's good. Because I don't remember, like, the first month or so. And I was like, yeah. So I'm just, we'll figure it out. But, I'm still, I'm spraying down my groceries. I'm being careful. I'm spraying down my groceries with disinfectant. I was one of those people. But I didn't get the vaccine. And he's like, yeah, but I mean, have you had anything happen? I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, dude, you don't know? Like, they're burning down buildings everywhere.
They're only 5 blocks from you.
They were only 5 blocks from me, looting, pillaging, breaking windows, and fucking burning down buildings. I literally had no idea because I had my head in the sand. So I know what can happen during a riot. And what happened to me was absolutely nothing. And I'm not saying it can't get worse than that. It obviously can. But most of the people in residential neighborhoods that were fucked with were by the police. Like, we've all seen the videos on Twitter at the time where the police are marching down the street, fucking jackboot fuckers, firing beanbag
bullets at people who are out on their porch saying, "Go back in your house." I mean, are these the people that your son is hoping to defend himself against if worse comes to worse?
Well, we haven't identified the enemy yet.
I'm thinking it's probably the government. That might be because we just rewatched the entire first season of The Last of Us because I'm anticipating the upcoming second season.
Yep.
But I'm thinking that the fucking enemy is going to be the fucking fascist government. It's not going to be the looters.
Well, those that believe in whatever government exists at that time.
Yeah.
Remember, it's like just like Nazi Germany. The German people, they voted in Adolf Hitler because their back was against the wall.
Yeah.
And it was what, the Democratic National Party they declared to be?
So, and here's what frightens me. And you asked me recently, I don't know, the country still seems really divided to me. Do you think that we could have a civil war? And I said, fucking A, yes, like right now. Like, I'm surprised every day it doesn't happen. Of course. Do you think it could happen?
A possibility, yes. Because the people aren't waking up, and those that believe in the government's going to protect me, get your head out of your fucking ass.
No shit.
Because you took you a while before they were burning your buildings 5 blocks from you, and you say, "Oh shit! Well, what if they only got to come 5 blocks, and I'm going to be burnt out."
I'm going to start paying attention at that point, and I'm going to buy a gun. So I bought it. I've been a gun owner before. It didn't change my mind on guns. But what I did was I bought a gun, like I just said, and I started paying the minimal attention to news that I had to be informed about what was going on.
Right.
The bare minimum. I'm not making birthday posts where I'm saying that I can't celebrate because of the political climate. I'm not using my celebrations or my personal woes as a political football, but I am paying the minimum attention that I have to the news, and I am getting myself some self-protection. So that's what I did. That's how I went about it.
There is no utopia in this world. And there will never be an utopia in this world. There will always be someone that wants to take your shit. All the time. I don't care who you label them as, but you're entitled to have stuff. And I'm not going to take your stuff away, but somebody will take it away because they think they're entitled to it.
I have no doubt that you're right. I've watched The Walking Dead. I've watched The Last of Us, and I've watched what's the movie with Tom Cruise where the aliens invade? That's a remake of an earlier movie.
Oh, War of the Worlds?
War of the Worlds. Yeah, I think that's it. I've watched it. I see how violent people can be when society breaks down. I totally get it. But there's a certain, I don't know, man. There's a certain amount you can do. I don't know, man. 7 clips on an AR-55, it seems like a bit much to me. I don't get it.
I got more than that, you know that.
Yeah, but you have a fetish for collecting things, and guns are one of those things. You have a fetish for collecting, like, guns and cars, and I think I don't know, man. Like, is the primary reason because most people can't afford to collect those things?
Yeah, that's true, because they're trapped in letting the government take 30% of their paycheck from them, and that's part of it. I mean, these things aren't cheap, and they're kind of trapped into a system that they're controlled. If you got to take 30% of your pay and give it to the government, and the fucking banks take another 20% of your pay, and then the fucking gasoline prices and the food prices, you're being taxed about 70% of what you make, and they say, here's 20%, you go live on it.
Now, here's the big thing. I say we, I didn't vote. We, the American people, got Trump into office on a mandate.
big part of that mandate is being carried out by Doge, right?
Right.
Okay. Now, Doge, as far as I can remember, I was keeping up with it for a while. I think at this point, they've effectively cut almost $1 trillion from the federal budget.
Yes.
And then they have a new federal spending bill that just got passed by Congress, and it added money to the spending. It didn't take any of it off. I mean, if anything's going to start a civil war, it's going to be bullshit like that. But that isn't going to be left against right, which is why I'm kind of excited about it. What's going to happen is going to be the people against the owners. I mean, did you know about the federal budget?
No, I know about the federal budget.
The spending bill?
It takes time to enact it, and it may take some act from the executive orders from the president to control it.
The thing that's weird about it is there was one Republican congressman that did not vote for the new spending bill, and Trump fucked him up. So Trump is effectively looking for ways to slash the budget through Doge and to create more money through tariffs. But then when time comes around to vote for a new federal spending budget, he's not slashing the budget or allocating resources to so he's not slashing the deficit and he's not allocating resources to put back into the debt. He's keeping that money floating. It's a little fucked up, Harry.
No, the thing is, it hasn't been enacted yet.
It has. It's been passed.
Well, the thing is, it could be changed.
Now, all those funds have not been allocated, but if you're going to slash the budget so that you can eliminate the deficit, and you did it effectively in 3 months, as far as I know, by almost $1 trillion.
Yep.
Don't you want to have $1 trillion less on your spending bill so that you do not increase the deficit?
Well, that's what the Congress is all about. They've been bought and sold by companies, corporations, and the thing is, it's a trap. And
Yeah, but what about Trump, man? He fucked with the one Republican that didn't go along with it.
well,
What I'm saying is it's a little disappointing, or a lot. And right when we get news of that, at almost the same time, we find out that Elon Musk is getting ready to step down from Doge. And personally, if I were running 6 businesses, getting protests from people all the time, getting my car dealerships and my cars fucked with, and getting Nazi swastikas spray painted on my shit, and not governing my 6 businesses, spending my time on that, spending my time on trying to correct the federal deficit, and then find out that the president that I endorsed and wrote $250 billion worth of checks for to get elected just floated and endorsed a federal spending bill that was higher than the previous year, I'd be pissed off enough to step down.
well, what's the difference between a Democrat and a Republican?
I don't see any.
A name. That's it. It's a two-party system, and who controls the system? It's not the president of the United States that controls it.
It's the bankers.
Oh, yes, it's the bankers, it's the Kabbalah, it's the Illuminati. You could label whatever you want, but they try to prove it. But the bankers, we got sold into slavery in 1913. That's plain and simple. People forget that history. They don't want to know it. And that's what I'm here to expose. I'm here to expose who are the slave masters and who are the slaves.
All right. So, I mean, if it turns out that I'm right about this, and I got this information 35th millionth hand, I'm not an expert. But if it turns out that Trump floated and endorsed and actively went after people that did not endorse a federal spending bill that's higher than the previous year after he had Doge basically wasting their time with theater, doing budget cuts worth almost $1 trillion. You'd be a little pissed at Trump, I hope.
I'm pissed at the system. Trump's a player. Biden was a player. Everybody's a player.
So you were never pissed at Biden?
Oh, Biden?
Were you ever pissed at Biden?
I can't say what I want to do to Biden because they'd be knocking on my door.
Well, isn't that just the system?
The whole system sucks.
But why are you angry at Biden personally and not Trump?
Well, I think he runs a better organization than the mob does.
Really?
Yeah.
Because we're doing theater here? We're doing theater, and then we're not putting any of the money back into the budget?
It's a big show.
Obviously, it's a big fucking show. And a lot of people will say that the tariffs are a big show, too, to get them to drop their tariffs against us. But what could the show possibly be where you have $1 trillion in cuts to the budget, but your spending bill for this year is higher than it was last year?
Well, if the tariff that Trump wants works, we will bring the prices down.
Now, as far as Doge versus the spending bill,
well,
can you not be personally angry at Trump for that?
Can he be legally held responsible for that?
Not what I asked. Would you personally be angry at him, not the system?
Oh, no.
Not society. Be angry at him.
Personally, I think he's a player like everybody else, doing his part. And I'm just concerned about preserving my own butt. So therefore, I do what I have to do to preserve me.
So I've never joined anything, for the most part, as far as politics go. I've joined some religious movements. That's very interesting, but not politics. What made you decide to accept the invitation to the Pike County Republican Party and put on a Michael Myers mask and New World Order paraphernalia and go out to protest people that are protesting the tariffs?
Right.
So if you can be personally angry at Trump for breaking his promises to the American people, personally angry at him, what made you on Saturday go out and protest the lefties?
I protest against the lefties because they're morons. They don't see the whole picture.
I gotcha. What's the whole picture?
The whole picture is they've been enslaved into a system so long that they're blind. They're totally blind.
Are the righties blind?
Right, the Democrats are totally blind.
Are the Republicans blind?
The Republicans, they're half because even the information I get out, I frighten them a little bit because I'm declaring a
little
war.
bit? Just a little bit?
A little bit. I mean, if they do what I do, we could break this country. We could go back and we could get freedom.
Harry, I hate to say it, I think you should be a declared anarchist at this point.
Anarchist?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I got a label now.
All right, so Harry is no longer a Republican sympathizer. He is an anarchist.
Right.
There you go.
That's what I got my anarchist cookbook for.
And that's why we are the New World Order. Anarchy. So you were talking a little bit about slavery. I think that's a good segue into what you wanted to bring up on this podcast. Why don't you give me the basic conspiracy theory, and then I'll try to read over some of it.
It's the history of the enslavement going way back to the year 1000, where this country, you think you won the Revolutionary War? No, you did not. We lost the war. King George was the king of France and the king of England. He supported both ends of the war like the Rothschilds did, and the debt was created way back in 1788. And this was their plan from the head time. Now, if we go further back on that, we go to the Talmud, the Jewish book the Jewish 22 volumes, when the Jews created the Talmud and created this slavery issue. And it goes way back. So it's an old issue. This is old history. This is where you planted the seed and slowly it got to a point where we are today. And if you go to page 4 on that, where I have it marked red, it says about the Talmud. The Talmud is the Jewish book of rules, and it's equal to the UCC code.
All right, so I'll read that. We are living under the Babylonian Talmud. It was brought into England in 1066 and has been enforced by the Pope, kings, and the various religions ever since. It is total and relentless mind control. People are taught to believe in things that do not exist, like corporations and straw men. Ideas are people. Yeah. Private international law, which is commercial law, only deals with fictions known as persons. That's what I just said. Interesting. Yeah. A person is a fictional entity at law, not a living being. See UCC, Universal Commercial Code 1-201. So basically, the general conspiracy theory is that the United States was so in debt to the crown of the United Kingdom after the Revolutionary War that they were forced into bankruptcy. And therefore, we had a treaty of peace, which I just saw pointed out on one of my pages. Here you go. See Treaty of Peace, 1783, 8 U.S. Statutes at Large, 80. Great Britain, which is the agent for the Pope, is in charge of the USA. And basically what this says, the conspiracy theory, is that the United States went into bankruptcy. A private international bank was placed. We were in debt to the UK because the United Kingdom was funding both the French side, which was our side, and their own side of the war. And that was under an international commercial bank from the Vatican. And we were forced into bankruptcy. That's why we had the Treaty of Peace.
Right.
That's why we have the special relationship with England. We never really won the revolution. They allowed us to think that we won. And then a bunch of backdoor deals were committed under the flag of not the United States of America, but the United States of America Incorporated.
That goes back to 1871. It goes back when it became, the Constitution was changed to the United States for America, not of America. Because it became the commercial type Constitution. And that's where the laws came in. But the UCC's been around since day one.
Now, this is, and I'm going to put up the entire essay by Stephen Ames. I'll link to it so you can read it yourself. It's a fascinating essay. But after this supposed win of the revolution, the Revolutionary War for America, that you're saying we didn't win at all. Right. It's when we turned into a corporation rather than a sovereign nation under the British common law. Aside from that, afterward, when the Social Security Administration was created, the United Kingdom Crown is actually a beneficiary of that profit.
The Queen, from 1997, they have an agreement with England that the English Crown gets part of our Social Security.
And you show me a document on that, which is, I hate to say, is pretty convincing.
I do my research. What can I tell you?
Well, that's pretty convincing. I don't know. The thing with the Pope on the last one I thought was a lot of fun, but I told you I'm not 100% convinced that the Pope owns my soul.
I'm not here to convince you. I'm here to let you do your own research and you decide what to think. Not me. I may not be right, But if I tell you something, you check it out, and if you believe it and you think I'm right, good. But if you don't want to believe it, I can't help make you believe anything. Don't take my word for it. Check it out.
Yeah, 100%. And I appreciate that candor. I appreciate that you find information, you're putting it out there. It's an interesting idea. Hey, it might be true. So another part of this conspiracy theory is that there is an obelisk, 3 points in the world, that are also 3 nation states in the world. They're corporations that are separate from the nation that they geographically exist in. The first one, ladies and gentlemen, what's the first one you want to bring
Vatican.
up? The Vatican is its own state with its own sovereign rights within Rome. And it's not its own nation per se.
Right.
It's its own corporation.
Yes.
Obelisk.
Yes.
Okay. What's the second one?
England. In
England.
The city of London.
Now, this is the only one that has an obelisk that was actually transported from ancient Egypt. They stole an obelisk and placed it within, I think it's a square mile.
Yes.
That's the actual corporation of London rather than the city of London.
Right. It's separate from London and the city of London.
Okay. So there you go. You have 2 corporate entities that have geographic property within the state proper that have obelisks. 2. And what's the third one, Harry?
Washington, D.C., 10 square miles with the obelisk sitting in that big lawn. I have a picture of me with my flag standing right behind the obelisk, and I have my flag there in 2004 when Ron Paul was running.
I wish I had that image lined up.
I got the picture.
Because your flag's amazing.
You want my picture?
Yeah, maybe I can put it up in post.
I'll go get it for you.
No, don't do it now. We'll put it up in post.
Right.
I'll lay it over the...
But I have a picture of it, and I had a vest on with my flag. I had the flag there, and I had people look at that flag, and I had the Capitol Police come to me, and they wanted to try to stop me, and I said, I got the First Amendment to do this. And like I said, I've been carrying that for 2004.
Right.
So therefore, you got the 3 main powers of the world. The Vatican does your mind.
Well, wait a second. So, Washington, D.C.,
right.
A corporation, not a city-state, a corporation with inside the geographic locale. Now, if anybody doubts that what we're saying is true, I mean, you can look up right away that the Vatican and Rome, London proper within London, England, and Washington, D.C. are not cities or states. They are corporations. You can find that out immediately. Why would these nations set up these geographic locations as corporations if it wasn't in some way legally to their benefit? If you think we're tinfoil hat in this, look that up yourself. Now, what they're using this power structure for, which Harry was just about to get into, that's a mind fuck within itself. But just the fact that they've done it when they established these locations, you can look that up. You can find it very easily. Why would they do that? There's a legal reason. All right, Harry. So what is the grand finale? The grand finale to this conspiracy theory, because each corporation that looks like a city-state has its own function in the world marketplace. What are the 3 players?
The Vatican controls your mind through religion.
Ooh.
And every religion is to control your mind, your behavior, and what you're supposed to think. And that's what the Vatican's job is. England does the finances through their Commonwealth law.
The Bank of England, if you look it up, is supposedly the wealthiest institution on earth, and it's basically run by the Rothschilds. So if you think that Wall Street, blah, 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 America, the most money on the planet, no, actually internationally, it's the Bank of England, which is located in the corporate geographic location of London, not the city of London proper. Good.
Now, Washington, D.C. is the corporate profit organization called the United States of America Incorporated.
Well, first of all, we have the Vatican
Right.
is the mind, controlling the
Right.
mind through religion. We have London
Right, it's
controlling
finances.
the finances, and then we have Washington controlling what? Started off, don't lead with the lead, don't bury the lead.
Right.
Starting off with what? What's Washington controlling?
According to the IRS code, Washington, D.C. is a federal corporation that controls territories. And if you think you're a U.S. citizen...
Dude, you're burying the lead. Don't bury the lead. So we have finance, we have religion, and what is Washington? It's one word.
The muscle.
War.
Right.
War. Why do you think America is always in a war? And I'm going to say it this time. You always say it, but I'm going to say it this time. Wake up, people! War! Why do you think we're always at war? Why do you think the United States is the police of the world? Fucking wake up. It's obvious. Religion, mind control, finance, London, America, Washington, D.C. War! Go ahead. Now, give me the lowdown on it.
And the thing is, Rothschilds did that in Europe for hundreds of years. Now we are the new war nation, and the war creates money for the corporations, and they do both sides, and the winners and the losers. The bank never loses. It's always about money. The war complex machine is out there. Now, most of us that fought in wars, we realized that a long time ago. Now, World War II was a trade war with Japan. Back in the 30s, we stopped selling the steel and the rubber and the petroleum to Japan. Japan was our allies at one time. They attacked us because they wanted to control the Pacific. Why do you think we were in Guam and Hawaii and islands like that? We had to try to control Japan. Now, Germany was another thing. In 1918, when they made that treaty, they bankrupted Germany, and they created Adolf Hitler, and they looked 25 years later, they were going to have another war.
Wait. Who created Adolf Hitler?
About in 1918, after the end of World War II, they're called the League of Nations, and we bankrupted Germany. We made the
After World War I.
After World War I, we made the German mark worthless. They used to do every 4 hours. They used to devalue the German mark. You had a wheelbarrow for money. You got a loaf of bread.
All right, dude. I hate to do this to you. Can you stay on that train of thought for 1 minute?
Right.
I gotta pee. I'll be right back.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Go next to my computer, look on the wall, you'll see my picture with the obelisk and with me.
I'm just going to overlay it. We'll be right back after
Right.
this. We'll overlay it on the video. Let me just pee real quick because I want to concentrate on what you're saying and I can't fucking think.
Obviously, we gotta have history. And we gotta teach you history. I hate to be a history teacher, but this is what I know. This is what I've been obligated to teach people. So, we say, wake up, people, because I'm not going to enslave my mind or my body as far as I live. So, unfortunately, the beer controls the bladder of the Hat Man. And that's the way it is. Oh, come on. Oh, there.
What were you saying? It sounded like you were talking to somebody.
I'm talking to myself.
All right.
Sometimes there's my picture.
All right. Well, I'm gonna overlay it.
Right.
No one can see it on camera, so I found that out with the painting. It didn't work. All right, I can think. All right, emptied my bladder. So Harry, I think what you were getting to was the fact that World War II essentially started because after World War I, we bankrupted Germany.
Right.
We blamed them for the entire situation.
And
I think from there you were going to get into Zionism
Right,
and
well,
the formation of a one-world government. Go ahead.
And then the Japan with the trade war between the rubber and the petroleum and everything else, we got into that. And when that admiral attacked Pearl Harbor, and he said, "I think we woke up a giant."
Which that's actually been
that's been recorded in history.
That Pearl Harbor was a false flag,
Right.
And those documents have been Jesus Christ. How am I blanking on this?
No, well, the thing is,
They were like the JFK files. They were, and now they're not.
14 hours before.
No. Hang on. I need this word. What's the word? They were classified. Jesus Christ. Sorry, everybody.
Well,
So, I mean, this is unclassified. Pearl Harbor was a false flag operation. It's not that we committed it on ourselves, but we knew it was going to happen, and we had a stand-down order from our government to allow it to happen so that we could involve ourselves in World War II.
14 hours before, the British knew they were going to attack Pearl Harbor. They knew it.
Okay.
Now, the World Trade Center was the false flag for the Middle East War.
Oh, yeah.
right.
I believe that 100%.
Here's my picture in front of you of me standing on the grassy knoll with the obelisk in
I see it.
Washington. And like I said, their wars are nothing but false flags, excuses to start the war. Population control, economic control, commercial code of corporations making money.
Right.
That's what it is. And I'm waiting for the next one.
So, I mean, basically what we were getting around to is, I thought what you were going to get to was World War II. I mean, we kind of, whether we meant to or not, created the conditions for it to occur. And then from there, we have Zionism, which rose very vehemently out of World War II.
Well, the thing is, it was planned between Stalin, Churchill, and Roosevelt in 1938 when they were on a boat off Canada. They knew we were getting the war. England wanted us in the war because they would have went. That's it. They would have been speaking German today if we didn't show up. World War I in 1917.
I think Hunter S. Thompson had something to say about that too.
1917, when we got in World War I, we brought the manufacturing power that we had in this country that defeated the Germans. And it's a corporate war that they create this thing. And like I said, I've been to Washington several times, and like I said, we're aware of what's going on.
Well, I guess my point would be, if everything that you're saying is true, it seems like a tightly knit group of individuals have been slowly consolidating control over the decades and the centuries. And they've gotten to the point where we are, excuse me, essentially in a one-world government already.
Yes.
It's like I was saying on the last podcast. The only reason why there's any conflict is because there's a lot of motherfuckers that aren't going along with the program. Why not?
Oh, it's about control, like the Iran, the Ukraine, and another country don't go along with the central bank. Libya. Remember when they killed the Gaddafi?
Yes. And did you know that they're also talking about going to war with Iran, like right fucking now?
Right.
So, you know about the whole leaked chat that went down, where they leaked the chat for the bombing in Yemen?
Yeah.
Okay, and this was like heartbreaking for me. So they had this chat in the government where a bunch of government agents were talking about this drone strike that they were going to do in Yemen. And this reporter got a hold of it because he was accidentally involved in the chat. And maybe he was accidentally. I don't know how accidental it was. I have no idea. Except the fact that I leaked him onto it because I thought it was funny. Because I'm part of the New World Order. But then you have this guy walks into an apartment building, apparently. And they're like, okay, he's in the apartment building. They're like, okay, issue the drone strike. The only person who gives any pushback on this is J.D. Vance. And the only reason why he has any pushback on this whatsoever is because of the money that we're spending in surveillance and weaponry. And he says, this is basically Europe's problem. Why are we footing the bill? That's the only pushback our government gave for this. Here's what happened. This dude goes into this apartment building. I think he was with his family. I don't even know that for sure. But they just leveled this apartment building with a drone. Yes. They leveled it. And we're talking about how many people who are completely innocent people just killed instantaneously. And this is what was heartbreaking to me is Tulsi Gabbard, who I've seen her interviewed a bunch of times since we blew up Hawaii with our Jewish space lasers, because, you know, Talking Head at the time, number 5 and I were in the secret Jewish space laser program, Goyim Division, that Marjorie Taylor Greene kind of broadcast to the world. So we blew up Hawaii, and then Tulsi Gabbard, she kind of became a hero to me because she was calling us out on it. Not Marjorie Taylor Greene, no hero of mine. But Tulsi Gabbard, and man, the fact that she was in Trump's cabinet along with RFK, I was like, sweet, yeah, this is like the dream team. And now Elon Musk, all the work that he's done has been seemingly right now, at the time of this podcast, as far as I know, has been seemingly made ineffectual. RFK so far is just getting to work. And Tulsi Gabbard, on this leaked message where they blew up who knows how many families, innocent victims, to get one guy, called it collateral damage. And she's on the chat going, good work, team. She was a hero of mine.
What about that missing airplane in the Indian Ocean with the scientists?
I don't know what you're talking about.
They had an airplane in Air India that disappeared over the ocean, Indian Ocean.
When was this?
A couple years ago.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about, dude, is right now.
Right now.
Tulsi Gabbard just...
Why do you think...
Just said, good work, team.
Right.
And to people that just killed who knows how many innocent people in a drone strike. How do you not value human life? How do you fucking go to bed at night?
The reason behind that was Yemen is behind these little pirates that are bothering the corporate ships that's going through the canal. And they're holding them hostage. And the ships cannot arm themselves according to navigation law. They could use water cannons and razor, barbed wire and things like that, but they can't arm themselves. And they're bothering the corporations. So the corporation, again, is being affected. So therefore, they're using the U.S. government to put pressure on the government against them to stop these pirates from attacking the oil ships, the cargo ships, and any other ship that goes through the canal there. And it's the corporation that is making the U.S. government part of the thing. Let's control these pirates. Tell them to knock the shit off. So therefore, we're going to use them as an excuse for a war.
It's a cool story, bro. Let me ask you a question. Let's create another story. I give you a gun with unlimited ammunition.
Okay.
And I send you into a building where nobody else has a gun. And you know that.
Right.
And it's going to be women and children and men of all ages. And I'm not going to tell you how many people are there. It could be 50. I don't know how big this apartment building was. It could be 100. It could be 200. It could be 1,000. It could be more than that. I don't know. I didn't look it up because I'm lazy. It doesn't matter. The question is, you have to shoot your way with a handgun, with unlimited ammunition, through innocent people to kill one person that the government wants dead. How many people that are innocent justify that assassination?
I would not do that personally myself.
Okay. Do you think that it's wrong?
Oh, it's definitely wrong.
Tulsi Gabbard was clapping her fucking hands,
those
dude.
People are also victims of the same thing the world's trapped into, because the elite, the powerful, because they say so they're your enemy. They haven't done anything to me.
Right.
Remember when...
It's like Muhammad Ali said, yeah.
Right. He said, what did the yellow man do to me?
Nothing.
Nothing.
When they were trying to force him to go fight in Vietnam, he said,
Viet
Cong ain't done nothing to me. And they fucking, they almost killed his career.
Yeah, well, that's what they are. These powerful people don't care about human life. And Israel, I could understand Israel's position in it. When Israel says, you kill one of us, we're going to kill 10 of you. All right, but that war's been going on forever. And we can't control Israel. We can't.
We give them enough money.
But we arm them.
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't care if you want your country to be communist, socialist, whatever, fine. I don't live there, so I don't care. But don't bring your stuff here. All right? Now, would I kill innocent people? There was enough innocent people that were killed. Let's take the 1870s, what we did to the American Indian. Same thing. We did that for a long time. This is human nature. These are people that are rich, powerful, and they want control. Population control, economic control. Dr. Fauci, well, what he did with the COVID-19 thing, is he possibly guilty of a lot of murders? Could be. Was it planned? Was Cuomo guilty of people dying in the nursing homes? Because he put the COVID-19 people in the thing? Yeah, well, that's one congressman called him out on that. But I will not create harm to anybody that have done nothing to me.
That's it. I think that's it.
And the thing is, I don't think any human being will not do that. Because once somebody said only good Indians are dead Indian. But that was that 1870. All right?
That's called othering. Yeah.
I don't know who said that, but like I said, we don't have the right to take another human life unless your life is threatened. But it's been human history ever since. I'm just going to do the best I can in my life at this time, and I'm not going to let anybody walk over me. So therefore, do I'm going to follow the crowd? Absolutely not. And I don't think anybody has the right. As far as what's going on in Yemen, all right.
Yemen.
They're poor people. Why are they poor? Because the central banks control the economy in the world. So therefore, what are we creating? Were they created? Are they teaching these people, we got control over you, so now this is what you got to do to survive? The central bank will destroy more people. The Crusades proved that. The Catholic Church did that during the 4 Crusades that we had. I said, if we don't wake up, we do to ourselves. And if you don't have any sense of morality and what's right or wrong, this is going to continue forever. Unless your mother's right and God's going to come back.
Well, everybody says to me, so here's a really good quote from what's his name? The comedian that did the Golden Globe Awards or whatever, I forget. But he has a series on Netflix called Afterlife, and he's working in office and his wife died. It's a really dark comedy. And he's not religious. He's an atheist, just like the comedian is an atheist. I can't believe I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Anyway, she comes up to him and she says, well, if you don't have religion, they're all English. If you don't have religion, how do you know what's right and wrong? How come you just don't go out and kill and rape as much as you want? And he looks at her and he says, I do kill and rape as much as I want. And she's aghast. And his friend just looks at her and goes, it's 0. He doesn't kill or rape any because he has a conscience. That's the joke. I mean, you don't need religion to tell you what's right or wrong if you have an internal compass that's capable of empathy. That's all that it is. So all that I'm saying is I went on the first podcast that Talking Head was back on us with, and I said, listen, I did not vote, but I felt relief in my body when I heard that Trump won. And I didn't even know that I felt that way until I heard the news that he won the day after. I didn't stay up to watch the election. I don't care that much. But I felt relief in my body. I didn't even know the tension was there until it was gone when he won. And I describe all the reasons why. Because the Biden administration was the first administration that, since I've been alive, that has affected me personally.
Well, that's it. Now, if Biden got elected, how do you think this country would turn out?
I don't know. But what I'm saying right now is my heroes are the cabinet since I've started paying attention to the news, okay? And I'm not getting down on RFK and I'm not getting down on Elon Musk. Tulsi Gabbard, totally another ballgame. Fuck you. Fuck you. And Trump, also, big fuck you. I'm sorry, but you are not delivering on what you promised. The relief, I allowed myself during the pandemic to become frightened from propaganda, and I promised myself that would never happen again. And then during this election, I allowed myself once again to feel hope from propaganda. And motherfuckers, that will never happen again. Everything that comes out of your mouth, I don't care who it is, whatever party, if you are vying for power, from now on, I will assume that it is a lie first.
And only until you have proven that it is not a lie through action and consequence will I allow myself to feel either fear or hope at your behest. And I hope that myself being honest about my experience with that, perhaps other people will allow themselves to feel honest about their experience with that and allow me to lead by example. Fear and hope, I am in control of, and nobody is ever going to arouse me, either consciously or subconsciously, to that extreme again if they're in a position where they're vying for power.
Politicians are like diapers. They have to be changed once in a while.
I still think, and your point was, well, what would the world be like right now if Biden got reelected?
I hate to think how far we would have to go or how many people would have to be hurt before they get off their duff and do something about it for themselves.
I still think that whatever Trump is doing right now, and most of it seems to be Broadway, I still think that it was necessary. I still think that it's showing everybody the cracks in the system. But dude, I got let off target. I allowed myself to feel fear during the pandemic, and I allowed myself to fear hope during this and the hope thing was subconscious. I didn't even realize I didn't even realize it was there until I heard the news that he won. And then I felt relief. Like, why should I feel relief? It's more of the same. Doge cut $1 trillion. The federal spending budget got passed under Trump. That's more than it was last year. So, Elon, go back to running your businesses. It's a hopeless cause. I don't know. Is it a hopeless cause? I mean, I don't know what the fuck to say. I really don't. I really don't know what the fuck to say. You tried, dude. You tried. You fucking tried. And we're all, like, at least everybody who's not spray painting Nazi propaganda on your cars, like, we were really hoping for you. I don't know, man. It just, never again. So that's my personal 9/11. The last two elections, never again.
That's your battlefield right now.
It's like a mental war inside my fucking head.
Everybody's at war on personal issues. You got your war, I got my war, other people got others, and they got to find out what resources they have within inside themselves and what to do something about it. Don't put your head in the sand. It ain't going away. It's not going away at all.
I still recommend that people, to a certain extent, put their head in the sand. But I am going to adjust my recommendations, and maybe I'll come up with something before the next broadcast that we do. But other than that, on that point, I have one more thing I want to talk about. But on this point, politically, and how disappointing all of this has been in the last couple weeks. Harry, you have anything else to say about that?
Nope. Just check our history out. Go check out what information is out there. Look at it, read it, think about it, and then look at your own situation and think of what you want to do for yourself and your family. And you got a brain, open it up.
All right, fair enough. What I'm going to talk about, Harry convinced me to start getting back into my art, and I thank Harry for that. I am going to be doing an art show with Harry later this month. I believe it's the 26th.
25th, I believe.
25th? All right, I'll post it on the social media. But we're going to be doing an art show. Harry's going to have some of his shungite pieces out there. I convinced you to do that.
Out there.
Yep, I'm going to have some prints, and I'm going to be making a painting while we are out there. We are going to be at the Gray Towers in Pike County. I believe it's in Milford. Is that correct?
Yes, Milford, Pennsylvania.
Okay. So let me show you guys some pictures of this bullshit. So this is the estate that we're going to be on. As long as everything goes well, we're going to be signing up for this tomorrow.
Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, there we go. That's good enough. So, guys, I'm going to be there. I'm going to have some prints for sale. We're going to be auctioning off a free portrait or commission photography session. And as long as you're in driving distance. So come out, see me. You can say hi. See me work on some shit. Enjoy the beautiful estate. Maybe buy some shungite. Maybe buy some prints. Whatever. I don't give a shit. If you're in the Poconos area of Pennsylvania, look it up. Link in the description. And I'll put a formal announcement out as soon as I do have placement, which should be tomorrow or the next day. So, in order to get that notification, make sure you are signed up and subscribed to our YouTube channel. And then go look at the links in the description. Follow or like our Facebook and our Instagram. That's where we're putting out most of our New World Order propaganda. And remember the Mother's Day sale. We still have 4 spots open for that. Thank you to Harry for getting me one sale so far.
Good.
Hey!
We're going to push you more.
Thank you very much. And I think that's about it. So thank you very much once again for watching the New World Order broadcast. And just remember, we're watching you too.
Someone is watching. There are strange